Part 2.
Boom. Part 2. We are back.
Yeah, we ran out of storage.
Technical difficulties.
First world problems.
Yeah.
So, let's just run that shit back, alright? So, my man's over here, sorry, stumbling, fumbling, smoking, token, and joking and shit. So,
Turn that, you keep going.
so this man over here, you know, he went through a rough patch. Well, maybe not even a rough patch to a degree because we're only
It
seeing
was
it
a very big learning experience.
And with that, man, I guess during that time of darkness, did your relationship with God fumble?
Or did you fall into God?
Yeah, man.
Yes.
You fell into
Both.
Okay.
Honestly,
Because I'm sure there were times where you were like, man, why is this happening to me?
I will be completely honest, I thought he wasn't real for a little while.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure. I mean, once you've lost everything, what else?
There was times in which... How is it that, you know, we were just talking during the break, basically, with Eminem's Kill Shot.
Yeah.
You know, where he says, you know, give you a career that just to destroy it. That's what it felt like. It felt as if he gave me everything
And then,
just to knock it all over and say fuck you.
Yeah.
It honestly felt like that. And then now coming back to him, it's just going, you knew I needed this because I wouldn't have gotten out of it myself. He knew that I was with the wrong people at the wrong time. I shouldn't be there.
and so
And it wasn't
that
going
means,
to take me realizing it to get me out of it because I would have stayed there because it was comfortable.
right. And that means he put you through that.
He didn't destroy something good.
Right.
He kept, like Alora, he kept what was good and built something even better.
Mm-hmm.
And with things that are better, it's taking time.
Right.
So I stumbled a lot with my relationship with God. I was homeless a third time before I came here. After everything happened, I got kicked out of the place that I was staying at because of me once again being an idiot. Because I'm hard-headed and apparently can't learn.
Mm-hmm.
But I was sitting behind the dumpster of my work, in a tarp, had a hammer. And I sat there for 3 hours and I just yelled at God. I unloaded everything I had on him. I said words that I wish I could take back. But
God knows your heart too.
Yeah.
At the end of the
He
day,
knows it
he knows
anyway.
where you were gonna be at in 3 years.
Yeah.
So like even with that, he was just like, he already saw it.
He paid for it 2,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually called my buddy Tim because I was angry at him as well because I felt as if I'm getting punished for things, even as bad as they are, that are far less than what he ever did in the relationship with Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
And I called him, I was like, why the hell do you get away with it, but God's punished me for this?
And you're just in a moment of anger and sadness.
I had a Beretta Bobcat.
Bitter.
I had a Beretta Bobcat. It was a little 2.5 caliber, not 22, 2.5. Little pistol. I was going to do it then. There was 2 times in which I thought I lost it all. Right then, I thought I was going to lose Alora. Backstory, I cheated on her twice.
Mm-hmm.
First time when we first started dating, didn't really, I knew what I was doing though. Second time I was drunk.
Okay.
And if that one hit me, I was actually telling her to break up with me, but since she wasn't, it's like, okay, she's here for a reason. Let's keep it. I thought I was going to
She
lose
stuck
her.
around for the first 2 times that, you know, you thought you should have broke her heart.
Yeah.
And that's...
And she found out. I didn't tell her.
Okay.
She found out, and then I told her about the first one when she came back up here. So she left me for a month. She said, I'm going to...
Take some time to recoup.
She's going to take some time.
That was when she had a mentor or someone that she was talking to during that time.
She
maybe
had
a therapist.
a very good friend of ours, very good Christian friend. I wish I could be more like him sometimes. And that's where he got the advice of, okay, 2 years up in Ohio, pay off debts, see where we go from there.
Right.
If it looks as if he can come back earlier, let him come back earlier. See how it goes, basically. And I personally did not feel as if I was going to get to keep her until I actually went. She came up again. There was that month she came up in Ohio in June. I didn't feel as if, I'm like, okay, she's still here until September. It wrecked me. There, for a week, I couldn't eat. Every time I ate, I would just throw it back up. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep very well. I was 160 right around then. I lost 20 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So basically I was as skinny as I am right now, but without the muscle. And it wrecked me. I couldn't breathe. I'm partially autistic. When something hits you like that, you can't think. You
It just overloads.
It's just it's like having a migraine and a seizure at the same time while still being conscious enough to feel it. It just
Yeah, man.
It literally feels. I called her before I left for Ohio. Shout out to somebody for me because it's been a long time coming. Eric Busby, he does Kaizo hacks for Mario on Facebook.
Okay.
And I put on there. He asked me, "Hey, how you doing?" Everybody knows me by James. And he's like, "Hey James, how you doing?"
Am I the only motherfucker really that be calling you AJ?
No, in Ohio everybody knows me by AJ.
Okay.
Everywhere else, everybody knows me by James. It's just I'm going to be changing my name to that. And
you want me to be calling you?
no,
James?
you're just like family.
I'm like godfathered in, man.
Yeah, it's a godfather thing. So, or grandfather thing. But I texted on that Facebook feed. I'm like, yeah, I just became homeless. So I figured things out. That Facebook feed blew up. They gave me $700 to go get a hotel, get me something to eat, get take a shower.
That's awesome.
So big shout out to them. He's on Facebook, Eric Busby, the Busby Hive. Once again, thank you for that. It was a huge blessing. But I called her from that hotel because I had Wi-Fi now, and I just poured my heart out. I didn't even ask her to forgive me. I was telling her not to forgive me. It's just 3 times. I didn't even eat anything yet. 3 times in that conversation, I threw up. It's just, as being someone on the autism spectrum, love is, it's like a sixth sense. You can actually feel it.
Okay.
It's not, just an emotion. And so breaking her heart broke my heart more. Even though I'm the person who did those terrible things,
It hurt you on a physical level.
It destroyed me because I felt as if I destroyed her. Knowing now I didn't destroy her, but I hurt her. She's not. I used to always say I'm not broken, just really fucking dented. And I knew that I did that. But that's that. Just it was a school of hard knocks, and I'm better for it. I thank God every day that He pulled me out of that, because all that He was doing was going, you know what? You're not knocking this door down. I'm gonna do it for you.
Well, that's it.
And it hurts when someone else peels off the Band-Aid. It hurts. It's like putting Band-Aids on bullet wounds. You're bleeding out, but you're saying it's fine, and trying to live your life that way. Put a wrap to it. I mean, it is what it is.
And with that, something that always kind of just helps me keep it pushing is I know God is only gonna put me through what He knows I can handle, right? So
not always. What He will do, He'll break your barriers. We get comfortable with how we are, so we're not gonna exceed anymore. We're like, okay, this is what I'm okay with. Don't need to go anywhere you go. No, I have something better for you, and He'll break your limits. One of the scariest prayers to pray is saying, Lord, give me patience and teach me how to be wiser, because He will do it in ways that will open up your eyes and be wondering why.
Yeah,
it's all for the better.
Yeah, that's a thing with me is I'm very against going out of my comfort zone. I like to stay where I am. I mean, Tanner, you saw when we went on our little date. It's just I'm uncomfortable with getting out of the comfort zone.
Luckily, because I have a hard head, I tell Laura all the time, I have no awkward bone in my body. I can sit here, talk about anything at all. I don't care what it is.
That's one of the biggest things I respect about you, man, is the fact that, like, I know when I see you.
Yeah, I'll be absolutely straight up, and if you think it's awkward, I'll make a joke out of it just to get you out of your awkward situation.
Bro, one of the last things we said talking before we canceled our podcast, or like we hit end on the podcast, we were like, yeah, man, and if we offended you during this podcast, just know we were talking about you.
Yup, exactly. If you feel awkward about something, I'm talking to you about it. Because if you're feeling awkward about it, it's something that you're struggling with, and I want to break you out of that. I don't care if you are. You could be my worst enemy. Right now, Alora's sister, Carrie. Story time. Bro, story time, and I'm calling you out. I'm sorry if you ever see this. I'm calling you out, and I'm doing it here because I don't really want to do it in the family because I love you as a sister, and I don't really want to do that. I really respect you as a person. I don't want to do that. I don't want to cause strife. I want to build that relationship back up. But I'm still going to say this.
You're going to call her out of love.
I'm going to call you out of love. That's a good way to put it. So, after the time I went down there last Christmas, or this past Christmas, and
I'm sorry, man. No, it's
you're laughing before the punchline, bro.
Man.
And so, I come back up here, and I told her before I left, I was like, look, I know, because she said you need to dump that son of a bitch, and rightfully so. Okay. Honestly, I don't blame her for that at all.
She's a sister, man.
Yeah,
she's
absolutely. She's protecting one of her own, and not only that, her sister, her younger sister. I absolutely respect that. I would be doing the same thing.
Right. If you saw someone going
if it was Viv, dog, if it was Viv, you would be trying to...
Absolutely. I still want to kill the boyfriend that she's with right now.
Right. Absolutely.
But,
it's in your nature, man, as the older sibling.
Here's the story. Here's the story. So, I say all that, okay. Well, her family and Alora get together for dinner at her parents' house. She waits until the parents are in another room to where they can't hear. And she asked the question, Carrie does. Hey, what Christian dating site did your best friend use? Oh, it was this one, and it worked out pretty well. Oh, that's awesome. Do you ever consider using it? Alora was pissed. It's like, no, I've given my heart to James, and that's it. Well, maybe next time you shouldn't give your whole heart to someone like that. She told me this. I was livid. You have the audacity to, while we're in a relationship, while we're making this work, to be saying that, and to be a coward and not say in front of the parents? If you think you're so right, why not say it out in front? I'm looking at the camera because I'm hoping someday she sees this. Why would you do that? If she said that when everything popped off, right afterwards she found out about everything.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so. It's been 8 months. We've been making things work. We're growing in Christ.
And then she tried to plant the seed.
And then she's got to try to plant that.
Come on, man. Yeah, I see you.
You're about to find out the real reason why because hopefully you see this after our wedding. That's the real reason why you're not the maid of honor anymore, and Sierra is.
Wow.
Because Alora's that pissed. It made the decision. She was bouncing back and forth. She was like, okay, I really want Carrie to be, but also in thinking about Sierra, I don't know which to choose. It's set in stone for her. And it did for me too. It about had me half tempted to make you the best man instead of Toon. Because the other side of it is, Toon as a husband is letting that go unchecked. She's just letting that. He's just letting that manifest. And I'm sorry, but you're a coward and a pussy for doing that behind the parents' back in their home.
Right.
And then saying that when I'm not there and just she's alone. That's a coward move. It is an absolute coward move. I would have had more respect for you if you actually said that in front of me or in front of the parents.
And not to diss Toon or anything, but he should have at least stepped up in your case.
Absolutely. I don't think Toon was actually there, But honestly, I don't think you should have stepped up. That was kind of, you know,
Okay.
that's a family thing.
Right.
Well, then again, he is married in the family now.
Mm.
So I don't know. I'm not in that situation. I'm not married yet. But it did come off as it was a dick move. It
Right.
really
Well, it could
was.
be one of those situations where, like, if I bring it up to her, it's just going to go bad for us.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stay away from this situation.
Because what do you think was going to happen? She's just going to just let that pass, not tell me?
Right.
You know, I'm hoping the next time I'm down there in, I believe June. I'm hoping that she brings up something that she cares about and is like, yeah, it didn't work out, and now I have this switch up plans. I know exactly what I'm going to say. I'm going to be like, well, maybe next time you shouldn't give your whole heart to something, and just leave it like that and just walk away. Just let her think on it. I told Alora ahead of time, I'm like, look, you've never seen it either because we've never been at this point. When I lose all respect for you, and I'm not love but respect, I go cold. And it's a deadly kind of cold.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you'll feel it. I won't even say anything and you'll feel it. And the only reason why I know this is because people have told me. This isn't me boasting about, you know, my coldness. Because I don't like being that person. I like loving people.
You are self-assessing.
Like, you know how you are in situations.
Yeah, and I don't want that.
Yeah, that's one of those things you're gonna have to
I don't want that. This is a fan. I loved her. And I still do. But I love her. She's... At some times, she feels like more like a sister than my other two.
Mm-hmm.
And I had great respect for her. She's very intelligent. She's a graphic designer. She builds herself on knowing that she can do things. But yet you're that much of an idiot to do that?
Yeah, I think there's some bitterness between you guys that I think
there
you need
is,
to be
and I want to get rid of it. And I forgive her for it, but I can't.
What's the way to
feel.
go? What's the way to go about that
I
though?
think
How do you let go of that?
You need to be locked in a room with someone.
Honestly,
and talk your feelings out.
Honestly, I wish I could.
Because there is a barrier,
but she won't. She's non-confrontational.
That's the communication thing.
Yeah,
right
because I told her right then. I was like, look, our opinions don't matter. This is between me, Alora, and the parents.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You can say your opinion, but it's not going to matter, and it's honestly not up to you.
And then now
that can come off as rude.
And every time you talk to her now, like over the next couple of years that you see her, when you do see her, you're always going to remember the thing that she did.
I'm going to remember that, and I just got to give it to God. Honestly, it's just kind of a thing that it's just like, okay, Lord, I'm struggling with this.
You know I am.
But this is yours. I'm giving it to you.
It will handle itself.
Just hopefully someday that we build that back, and I think it will just have to be proof of trial that I am the man that I said I was going to be.
And I think it will. I think over time it will.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, because she's a great woman. She really is, and I believe that her and Toon were a perfect. If I told Carrie half of the shit that I know that Toon did while they were dating, she only knows one part. If I unloaded everything while they were still dating, there would be no marriage. There would be no marriage.
Mm-hmm. I think it's
there is wisdom in holding your tongue, because like we've talked about before in the first part, things are set in stone. There's the predestined thing. There's something that God has for you as long as you're willing to follow it. Who are you to try to damn that and switch it by being toxic? Mm-hmm. It's a bad idea.
And I would like to also say that, like, right now, in many, 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 many years, it will be looked back as it was just a time of weakness for that sister. And also just the whole situation. For the whole situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you can't judge her too much because you don't know what's going on in
her
head.
Exactly. And that's what I've been focusing on. I'm like, look, I don't know what's going on in her head. I kind of understand part of it, the reason why she would say those things. But I completely understand that.
Just letting it go.
But at the same time, both me and Alora know half the reason why she's doing this is because she likes everything being perfect and controlled in her own way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm uncontrollable.
Yeah.
I'm not under her thumb. I'm not.
You're gonna do what you.
I'm
want
gonna
to
do in my relationship what I think needs to be done as the man of my household.
Mm-hmm.
It's just.
You're not going to accept ideas from other people.
And
I'm not gonna accept the wrong
ideas. Yeah.
You're
I'm everything with a grain of salt. I will listen to your opinion all day long.
Like, I feel like if you called me about a situation, yes, you are not going to be like, oh, this is what the man said. Nah, it's just like, alright, that's a perspective that I saw, and maybe I wasn't looking at it in that way. And that's all you can give someone else in that.
Right.
But
because let's be honest, I can be very abrasive when someone says, hey, you're wrong. This is what you need to be doing. It is a pride thing, and I'm a very prideful person when it comes to also what I'm trying to control. So I kind of get where she's coming from, but at the same time, we both got to let that go. It's give your whole heart to something.
Yes.
If it breaks, it breaks. If it doesn't, it's cherished forever.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly,
there's wisdom in that too, man. Even through the heartbreak.
Keep pushing on carbon, keep putting that heat on it. It's either going to become a diamond or it's just going to be coal. One of the two. It's just.
Right.
So, what would you say for someone like me? I have very bad attachment issues. So, like, I'll get attached to someone, and that's going to be locked in there. What would you say for me with the give your whole heart to something? Because I'm a little afraid of doing that.
It's a struggle. It's better knowing that there's a possibility of pain. It's better knowing the risks involved before you go into it.
Mm-hmm.
And especially as young as you are, it's something that you can go, okay, there's a higher chance right now that this is not for me. It's just a learning experience. Than, okay, this is actually happening.
That's what Tanner's been saying, man. Is it's all a learning experience, and I'm trying so hard to grasp it that way. Tanner's like, just go ask a girl out, man, or stuff like that. It's a learning experience, but for me, it's hard to be like, approach a girl, ask her out, and get it rejected.
Or
that's gonna stick around.
You want to know what?
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
And that's the thing too, dude. It's just like, alright, so you said the risk part, right, man? But it's also... shit, yeah.
Let me check.
But it's also the concept of, like, it's not just...
It's 9:40.
Okay.
We can wrap it up.
Yeah, we can wrap it up.
But, man, it's
Finish
just...
this point.
It's the idea of, like... It's not the no that I think you fear. It's more or less the... Get into a 6-month relationship after you finally gave your heart, you finally got over a couple hills, and then boom, you find out that girl, she's young too.
There's a Garth Brooks song out there. It's an older song, and it's called "The Dance." And several times it says, as part of the chorus, it's my life. It's better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd also have to miss the dance. It's just...
Gotta appreciate the dance, man.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm almost getting choked up thinking about it. I'm so glad that I decided to dance with the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was saying no for 2 or 3 months. After Christmas, I was finally getting to know her a little more. It's just... I gotta take this shot. I fall in love easily.
I do too. Very easily.
But I just got out of a bad breakup and I was stone cold, and she melted me down that fast. I want to live my entire life with that woman then.
Mm-hmm.
And take time. Figure out who you are first. Have your morals set. Be the man God wants you to be first. Because you can't be the other half. You can't be the other whole of a puzzle if you're unpainted. It's like having a cardboard puzzle piece cut out.
Yeah,
It has no picture. It fits, you put it there,
You
but it's
gotta know
still, it's as if it's empty still.
It's like,
And it's uglier because it's not.
You can't be someone else's half if you don't know
Yeah.
what
There
third
is no
you're
half.
giving.
There is no two halves coming together. It's, you know, the
Yin and yang? Is that what you're trying to say?
no, the Venn diagram.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, with the two circles meet with
Yeah,
the thing in the
and
center.
the thing in the center.
That's what it is. Because you don't want someone that's exactly like you. That's just being narcissistic. It's like dating yourself.
Right.
You don't want that. You want someone with you want someone that brings something to the table. That was the second point that I was trying to read. I was trying to remember. You want to have somebody bring something to the table. You don't want, we're just alike, this, that, and the other thing.
Well, then you both share the same weaknesses.
Exactly.
So how are you going to get over that hill?
Not only that, but you have the same strengths. If you already have that, why do you need someone?
Then you're not going to grow from each other.
Exactly. And that's all I got to say on it. Honestly, it's just, I know I've kind of stole the show.
You're the guest. You're the guest.
God, no, man. You don't understand how much this is appreciated, dog. And if it wasn't 5 days, man, I mean, fuck, we could end up doing something somehow within the next 5 days.
I think we could probably
because
get one more
low-key,
podcast in.
So you're leaving on Friday?
Thursday. Yeah, man. So like, I feel like an hour podcast with you, man, is way too short.
I think we need to do this one more time earlier in the day. I'll get my phone for storage.
Yeah.
And then we'll.
On the weekdays, I work until 3.
Okay. Well, that's perfect. I get off of school at 3.
Okay.
And I don't have anything going on after school, so.
Awesome. So,
well,
do you want to try shooting for Wednesday then?
Yeah. Shit, man.
Wednesday is March 2nd.
Wednesday is March 3rd.
Is it?
So that would be the night before
I don't
I'm
know.
leaving.
Oh, here, let me check that.
Do you want to do it on Tuesday then?
I think Tuesday would probably work a little better, just so you have time.
Right.
Because you don't want to do this the day before you're leaving.
Oh God, no. That's time for.
Wednesday is March 5th. You're right.
All right, man. Well,
we'll figure it out.
Well, this is it for this time around.
Yeah,
absolutely.
This has been
definitely.
Awesome.
Hopefully, I don't become just a guest star, and I'll actually be part of the Turtle Clan.
Dude, that'd be dope.
And what I'm saying, man, is like eventually we're gonna invite you out to the Shell in Hawaii, man.
You're an honorary member of the Thirsty Turtle.
Awesome.
Hey, and man, we're gonna go boar hunting, man. Once we get down to Hawaii.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right,
man.
it was great having you, man.
Oh yeah,
this is awesome.
Thanks so much. Y'all be safe, be blessed, and remember, God's got you.
Hell yeah. Peace.